Hey guys, how's everybody going today? I thought I'd make a quick video about the bouncer training that we had when we worked at the casino here, which is pretty much the roughest place to work at in Perth. Most bouncers in Perth have actually worked at the casino. One of the reasons is that, well, in the old days, when you did your training, it was 1 month full on 9 to 5, Monday to Friday training, and at the end they actually pay for your license, which is it's pretty expensive, and so that was really good. But people were taking advantage of it, and they were doing the training, getting the license, and then leaving. People would be people. Anyway, so we used to do this thing called the 90 seconds. Was it 90 seconds or 60 seconds? I don't remember. Anyway, so what it was 90 seconds of getting beaten. We had to keep our hands on our heads like this, so we were allowed to sort of block punches, kind of. If we removed our hands from our heads, we failed. If you fail twice, then you get kicked out. Anyway, so I was actually the first person to go up, so I didn't know what to expect, which was probably good because like a lot of people got blood noses, cut foreheads, like all sorts of things. They've actually cancelled it now. They don't do it anymore. I think they're afraid of getting sued. So what it was, okay, so we had 3 trainers. We had one big Maori guy, strong dude. One average Australian guy, and one girl who wasn't, really very strong. I was very lucky to get the big Maori guy. So for 90 seconds, he was wailing on me, with not boxing gloves, like MMA gloves, like soft, like small gloves. And he got a lot of hits into my face. I was seeing stars, and you've got your hands like this, but you get them like that, bang, you get one in the nose, and that was pretty brutal. But I got through it okay. I didn't remove my hands from my head. I actually saw a couple of guys turn around and run off because they couldn't handle it. That was I think they failed. So that was part of the training. We also had close personal protection training from proper guys that had done it, bodyguard work, and where we were trained to shadow the guy that we were following. We would go behind him, and when something happens, we held on to him, pushed him down, and got him out of the situation. Part of the training, there's a dude came along with a water gun, so we had to sort of defend against a gunman. We had Krav Maga guys, like actual Israeli commandos, teaching us how to defend against knives, things like that. Generally, knife defense is get out of there, make as much space in between yourself and the guy with the knife, and put as many objects in between you and them. There's not much you can do against a knife. Even if you're a really good fighter, you can slip, you can make a mistake by accident, and a knife, people do martial arts, and it's always like, okay, here we go, I'll get my vape. And then they'll grab your wrist and you get the knife out of your hands. But in reality, it's like they'll stab you like 20 times. I mean, what are you going to do then? You're going to grab their wrists, stabbing you 20 times? Yeah, I don't think so. So, yeah, knife defense, yeah, it's difficult. But that was some good training. Those guys were real badasses. We did MMA training with MMA guys on how to subdue people, how to perform shoulder locks, keep them subdued until we could handcuff them, or simply frog march them pretty much out of the place and kick them out. One month of this, and there was tests every day. You usually got 2 goes. If you failed both, you failed. Did stuff like where we went into a room, we didn't know what to expect. We were told it was toilets, so we went in there, and there was a guy with a syringe shooting up, well, you know, pretending. And a lot of people went right up to the guy. If you went too close to the guy, he would run at them with the syringe, pretend to stab them, and bang, fail. So, you know, the right thing to do is to stay back, call out, you know, he's got a syringe, you know, get on the radio, look, there's a guy with a syringe here, call in for backup, keep your distance, and yeah, basically that was the right thing to do. Yeah. We did, you know, there's all the first aid training, there's Aboriginal awareness training about Aboriginal culture, things like that. Yeah, I did stuff like that. It was yeah, a lot of like pretty hardcore training. It was pretty good. I mean, I hated it. I didn't like it at all. But we learned how to do things like a sprawl. If someone's coming at you, rushing at you, trying to grab you. You know, we learnt how to, you know, look after the money and things like that. You know, yeah. So yeah, it was an interesting experience. Actually, very good training. It's a pity that they don't do the 90 seconds anymore, because I think they're afraid of getting sued. There was one guy who told the MMA guys that, oh, I could never get choked out. No one can ever choke me out. Next thing you know, we see him on the floor and he's choking because they've just choked him out. He's coughing. He just woke up. He was passed out. So, yeah, no, like if you're against a proper MMA guy and they want to choke you out, they'll choke you out. You know, there's no guy in the world that cannot be choked out. So, yeah, like that was weirdo. But yeah, so I survived all the training and got the job and worked there for 3 years. And yeah, that was interesting, because I was working every Friday night, every Saturday night. In the end, it was just like, you know, I'm missing out on time with my friends, I'm missing out on time with my family. Can't go out Friday night, can't go out Saturday night. You know, dealing with fights every single night got too much. So yeah, it's a bit of a we got nice fitted suits. That was cool. Only time in my life I actually had fitted suits. So yeah, I like that. And we didn't bring our uniforms home. We actually weren't allowed to. We put them into a chute, and then at the end of the shift, and then in the beginning of the shift, we press a button, and it comes out. It's all freshly pressed and cleaned and everything. That was great. And food was great too as well. We got like a free entry into the food sort of place, where it's like an all-you-can-eat, all sorts of different foods and dessert bars and free cokes and everything like that. You know, so yeah, yeah. That was pretty cool. So yeah, that was a training at the security at the casino in Perth.